The scientific effects of meditation. A study from UCLA found that long-term meditators have better preserved brains than non-meditators. As they aged, participants who had been meditating for an average of 20 years had more gray matter volume throughout the brain. What was observed was a widespread effect of meditation that encompassed regions throughout the entire brain. Meditation reduces activity in the brain's me center, a study from Yale University. The study found that mindfulness meditation decreases activity in the default mode network, the brain network responsible for mind wandering and self-referential thoughts. Everybody focuses on themselves. When you think of other people, you view them in relation to yourself. If you work at a factory with a lot of different workers, you view each situation, each person, in reference to yourself. In all actuality, most people aren't really thinking about you. They're thinking about you, thinking about them. That's just something that I've noticed. The DMN, which is the default mode network, is on or active when we're not thinking about anything in particular, when our minds are just wandering from thought to thought. Since mind wandering is typically associated with being less happy, ruminating, and worrying about the past and future, it's the goal for many people to dial it down. Several studies have shown that meditation, through its quietening effect, appears to do just this. And even when the mind does start to wander, because of the new connections that form, meditators are better at snapping back out of it. A study at Johns Hopkins looked at the relationship between mindfulness meditation and its ability to reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and pain. They found that the effect size of meditation was moderate at 0.3. If this sounds low, keep in mind that the effect size for antidepressants is also 0.3, which makes the effect of meditation sound pretty good. In 2011, a Harvard team found that mindfulness meditation can actually change the structure of the brain. 8 weeks of mindfulness was found to increase cortical thickness in the hippocampus, which governs learning and memory, and in certain areas of the brain that plays roles in emotion, regulation, and self-referral processing. There were also decreases in brain cell volume in the amygdala, which is responsible for fear, anxiety, and stress. This indicates that meditation not only changes the brain, but it changes our subject perception and feelings as well. In a follow-up study, the researchers found that after meditation, changes in brain areas linked to mood and arousal were also linked to improvements in how participants said they felt, improves concentration and attention. One recent study found that just a couple weeks of meditation helped people's focus and memory. That's a few reasons why mindfulness meditation is important. Even though our society considers meditation a taboo, strange enigma, I was an atheist for many years. I am now a Christian. I believe in a God. But even before I believed in a God, I would meditate almost every day. To me, meditation is simple. I remember one summer, this is an illustration that will explain what meditation is to me. I remember one summer when I was at the lake in a tube. There was a current that was flowing. I sat in the tube and I let the current take me wherever it wanted. I didn't try to go with a certain pattern. I didn't try to go against a certain pattern. I simply went with the flow of the current. Think about that tube as your thoughts. Every morning, the first thing I do after I wake up is I close my eyes. I set my timer on my phone for 15 minutes. I just let my brain go. I don't think about anything in particular. If a thought goes in my brain, I don't try to remove that thought. I don't try to think about it. I simply go with the flow. Sometimes I think about stuff. It is what it is. Other times I get into a place of mindfulness where I don't think about anything. As soon as I finish the meditation, I can feel this tingly feeling in my brain of dopamine rushing down. Throughout the day, I can feel the effects of it. Like the study said, my mind doesn't wander as much. And when it does, I can snap back into reality. That's why if I'm at work, instead of checking my phone what time it is, instead of worrying about when I'm getting out, I just focus individually on what specific task I'm doing. I try to do that task as well as I can. I don't focus on others. I don't focus on what's around me. I simply focus on that one task and I break them into micro tasks. I kind of play a game with myself to get these tasks done. And before I know it, it's time to go home. I just go with the flow. I've also noticed when I make a mistake, I'm less prone to dwell on it. When I was first beginning driving, I remember the first time I drove myself to work alone. When I went into the parking lot, I accidentally hit the gas instead of the brake. My car ended up going up a curb. I had to go back into my workplace and let some of the guys know what happened. After making fun of me, in a nice way, I like the guys I work with. They were just having some fun. They helped me move the car. After work was over, I drove home, no problem. Parked in the driveway, never told anybody what happened. I completely forgot the mistake. I remember Phil Jackson, the Hall of Fame coach of the Bulls with Michael Jordan and the Lakers, was talking about how his team would practice mindfulness meditation for 5 minutes. They would turn out the lights, and as a whole, the team would close their eyes and meditate. The late, great Kobe Bryant stated that when they would meditate, he could feel the effects during a game. If he made a mistake like throwing a bad pass or getting beat by a defender, when they called a timeout, he would not hear the crowd around him. He would simply focus on the next play. That's what meditation can do. See, our brain thinks about certain scenarios. Typically, the worst case scenario, you wander, and you stress yourself into oblivion. With mindfulness meditation, I'm not saying it's a cure-all, but if you focus in the moment, you're not going to worry about the past or the future. Last thing, then I will be out. Most people turn on the media right when they wake up. A certain form of media, some people turn on the news, some people go on Facebook, some people go on YouTube. People look at negativity. When you see the negativity in the morning, you start off your brain in a loser's mentality because you see images, you hear sounds, and you read things which are going to lower your vibration. When you increase your vibration through meditation, exercise, diet, then you can better operate within the world. The whole purpose of the elites is to lower your vibration. I made a video about this. The entire universe is composed of matter. Matter is composed of atoms. Atoms are composed of smaller particles. Electrons, neutrons, and protons. Those particles are composed of smaller particles called quarks. Quarks are composed of smaller particles which are magnetic fields. Everything is vibrating. All matter is moving. It vibrates. That's why when you take a shower, you exercise, you feel a high vibration. The next day after drinking alcohol, you are operating in a lower vibration. The higher vibration you're operating in, the more efficient you can be.